Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio. Thank y'all to everybody who has been listening to us tonight as we progress throughout the show. A lot to get to throughout the night, but I'm definitely happy and honored to bring to you guys returning to the show. She is a serial entrepreneur, and she is going to talk to us about the millionaire mindset. Returning to Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J on Legacy Internet Radio. We've got our sister, Roberta Hoskie, is on the line. What's going on, sis?
Hey, fine. How's everything going? I'm just excited. I'm excited about what the new year brings.
Absolutely.
How's everything with you?
Doing good. It's good to talk to you again. We talked to you last spring, and so we were introduced to you then, and I know 2016 is going to be a banner year for you guys. So I'm happy and honored to be able to talk to you again.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show again. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And again, Happy New Year. A lot to get to. First, I want to kind of bookend a big deal that I know you got going on. I know when we talked back in the spring, you had mentioned that one day we would get an opportunity to meet each other and kind of fellowship, and you would be bringing the millionaire mindset to Richmond, Virginia. So I want to open with that, and I'm also going to close with that. The millionaire mindset is coming to Richmond, Virginia here in I believe it's January 30th. Tell us about the event and what's going to happen.
Yes, it's going to be on January 30th. It's going to be from 2 to 4 p.m., and it's going to be at the Law 17 on 1717 East Franklin Street in Richmond, Virginia. So I am super excited to be coming to Richmond, and, you know, Virginia was on my list of places to definitely come and see and bring the Miss Millionaire Mindset seminar to Richmond. What you can expect is basically not what you expect at other seminars. This is very different because I want to, and I believe it's my purpose at this time, to ignite the entrepreneurial spirit as well as to be able to give people tools to create multiple streams of income. So we had our interview before and we talked about my life, and I'm sure we'll get a little bit into that in this interview. But I always say this, I'm a chocolate girl from the hood. And I'll always say that. I was 17 on welfare and didn't know how I was going to make ends meet. I was a teenage mother. But today, as you said, I'm a serial entrepreneur. And to make that transition is phenomenal. I embrace it now, because before people would ask, like, how did you do it? How did you do it? And I really didn't put much thought to it. But now I've put a thought to it, and I put a message to it, and I put a tool to help other people to it. Because if I can do it, anybody can do it. Anyone can do it. You know, so I'm so passionate about sharing the knowledge and sharing the wealth with people and giving them the tools so that they can create multiple streams of income. Because the truth of the matter is we depend on a job, we're in trouble.
Right.
You know, I'm straightforward. We're in trouble if you depend on anyone's job. If we're in trouble.
Right.
So, you know, I'm on my mission.
Well, you had mentioned that if you can do it, anybody can do it. I know a lot of times people have to see things happen for other folks for them to be able to know inside themselves that they can do it. So tell us about that 17-year-old young woman who was on welfare. Tell us, just go back to the beginning and tell us your story.
Oh, 17-year-old Roberta, who actually had a nickname of Pumpkin, and to today, many of my family members still call me Pumpkin. But, you know, she had an attitude problem. Always having an attitude with everyone, always wanting to fight, and just thought she knew everything, you know. But I'm saying she as if she wasn't me, but she's not who she at 17 is not the same person I am today. But 17, found myself pregnant and scared to death. Literally scared to death, especially when I found out that I was having a little boy. Because we're talking early 90s, where the stats for our African-American men said that we were going to lose them. And to today, it's still pretty much true that the stats are against us. That I was going to lose him to the jail cell. I was going to lose him to the street. I was going to lose him to 6 feet under because he was a black male in an urban environment, that these stats were already against him. And so when I found myself pregnant at 17, and when I found out with a little brown baby boy I was about to birth into this world, life hit me. It was like, I'm now responsible for his life. It's not just about the choices that I make. It's about the choices that I make that are going to directly impact my son's future.
Right.
So that shifted my mindset. You know, life is no longer about me. And that's what part of the message, too, that I share with people is that you have to realize that nothing in this world is about you. There's absolutely nothing in this world about you. If you think it's about you, you're living your life in vain. Everything that you do directly or indirectly impacts others. And so that's why, you know, I'm passionate about, you know, about sharing my story. Found myself homeless because I was on welfare, $417 a month. I was catching buses to see apartments that I couldn't even afford, I was getting denied for. Could you imagine a little 17-year-old girl showing up to see an apartment with a little baby and say, I only have $417 a month, can you give me an apartment? That doesn't even make sense today.
No. It did make sense 20 years ago. Absolutely not. I'm trying to picture, because I remember when I was 17 years old, and there just wasn't many important things that were important to me, if you know what I mean, at the time. And obviously, you know, becoming pregnant was something that you experienced that caused you to have to grow up a lot faster, I would guess, than, you know, your friends and other folks in your age group. Tell us about the house that you ended up acquiring at the time. I know a little bit about that story. Share it with our listeners, how that happened and what happened next.
Okay, so the first property that I purchased changed my entire life. It yielded me over $250,000. But understand, when I approached the investment for this house, it wasn't about investing in real estate. It was about, again, my son. How do I provide for him? Because I didn't want him to live in a project like I lived in a project. It was sheer numbers. It just made sense. The mortgage was $1,100, and I purchased the house for $88,000. The mortgage was $1,100. My third floor tenant's rent was $1,100. We lived on the second floor, not having to pay a mortgage because my third floor tenant paid the mortgage. And then I had two other units on the bottom, which gave me $1,500. One was $900 a month. The other one was $600 a month. So whether I got up and went to work or not, my mortgage was paid, and I was bringing in $1,500 a month off of this one investment. And let me tell you, for those of you who think you need to have a lot of money to purchase a house, that is not true. And this is what I want to teach you, how you really acquire wealth without using a lot of money or not even having a lot of money. I was working in the mailroom, $9.14 an hour when I purchased my house, $9.14 an hour to purchase a 4-family house. And those are the types of things that I'm going to teach when I come there to Richmond. How do you do that?
Right.
And so when I realized what real estate was, I've always had a love for real estate, but I didn't know the power of real estate until later on. And when I realized the power of real estate, I said, let me go and get my property appraised. It was worth $300,000. The same property that I purchased for $88,000. So, Marcus, I don't have to tell you I cashed in, right?
Absolutely.
I don't have to tell you.
Absolutely.
I cashed in. And then if you calculate the $1,500 a month for the years that I had it, and you add that to the profit, and then even if you add the money that I saved because I didn't have to pay rent,
right,
it's, you know, that number was over $300,000 when I tallied it up for one investment. So I cashed in, and of course that started everything in my life with the real estate investing.
You got the bug right then. I know.
Oh,
you.
yeah. When I got a check for when I got that check and I didn't go to work for it, are you kidding me? The bug took over.
Yeah. No, I know. I can only imagine. And the seminar that we will have for the Miss Millionaire Mindset that we will have here in Richmond, Virginia, on January 30th, 2016. I'm hoping, I'm guessing, I guess I'm knowing that we will learn some tips on how we can do what you did and create some sort of generational wealth for ourselves.
Absolutely. That is my mission. I'm not going to be that person that goes around and tell you just stories so that you can be interested in real estate. I'm going to teach you as much as I can teach you. It's impossible for me to teach you all within 2 hours. It's utterly impossible. But I'm going to give you enough nuggets so that you can start with your real estate investing or point you in the right direction. So, and I also will be available after the seminar for people to contact, and maybe if they needed more training, I have that available as well.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right. And have Steppin with Marcus J. live from the Den. Legacy Internet Radio. We're talking to our sister Roberta Hoskie. She is a serial entrepreneur, and she is bringing her seminar, the Miss Millionaire Mindset, right here to us in the Cap City, RVA, Richmond, Virginia, on January 30th, 2016. I understand I will kind of take the conversation in a little bit of a different direction here for just a moment, if you would allow me. I understand congratulations is in order for you, Miss New Haven Register's Business Person of the Year for 2015. I did my homework. I know. Congratulations. Congratulations.
I'm the person of the year. Oh, my God. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Tell us about that. How did that happen?
Well, what happens is every year, New Haven, they put out a request for people in the city or in the state, for that matter, to vote for who they think should be the person of the year. And what ended up happening is, I got an enormous amount of votes. And the mayor of New Haven, which is my good friend, which I love her dearly, she was even on that list, and I beat her out.
Wow. You beat the mayor?
But it was the mayor, yeah.
Go ahead, girl.
That's my girl. I love her to death. Like, I helped her get into office. I love her. But just the level of people, just the number of people who voted, and because their stories of how I helped them break poverty and how I helped them get into houses and how I helped them build houses and how I'm doing this thing not so I can get accolades. I'm doing this because this is who I am. Even with this seminar, when I'm bringing it to Richmond, I'm not doing this for accolades. I'm doing this because this is who I am. And so it was wonderful. I can't even explain the feeling. They surprised me. They surprised me with that nomination, and ended getting that endorsement as the person of the year. How about that?
That is awesome.
It was amazing.
That is awesome.
And I was happy crying.
No, I can imagine. I can totally imagine. A lot of times when our friends and our close associates recognize us, it's like, wow, you watch me every single day. But when it's it's bigger. I mean, it's the city of New Haven. That's New Haven, Connecticut. That's when the city says, you know what, this lady's real dope. You know what I mean? She real dope. So you need to recognize her for the year. So on behalf of me personally, as well as us here at Aint, Steppin, Marcus J. Legacy Internet Radio, a very heartfelt congratulations to you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marcus. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Now I want to talk about a couple of other things. You got a lot going on. I don't know how I'm gonna get to all of them, but I want to try to talk about the talk show, the reality show, the courses. Let's take it one at a time. The talk show. Let's start there. What's going on with that?
Okay, so the talk show is called Making Better Sense with Roberta, and we cover topics of course real estate, wealth creation, of course. We also cover education, and we talk about these topics as well as health. And we talk about these topics, how they affect us, and what we can do to better ourselves. And I bring a different guest from across the country, and we talk about these things and give our viewers pointers. and excited about this course, because, not for the show, because it will be on a national platform. So I'm super excited about that. We in Connecticut is Channel 3 WFSB. I'm not sure what it is in Richmond, but it is a national platform. So that also will be coming out in 2016. Super excited here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm looking forward to seeing that and making sure that if we need to get you back in here to talk about that one, I want to make sure that we continue working with you going forward on all of your endeavors, including the reality show. Now, a lot of times when folks hear reality show, the antennas go up. What's the deal with the reality show? Are we going to be nervous? What are we going to be doing on this show?
Listen, it's a reality show, so we have to have drama.
Yeah.
I don't have the Shanae, who's baby daddy drama going on. I don't. In the end, my mission is to really showcase that the average person can acquire real estate to change their life, and as well as acquire multiple streams of income. That is my brand. This is what I believe my purpose is. So even in my reality show, as we meet these phenomenal characters. One of my characters is a strong pastor that is known throughout the United States. He's a strong pastor. He's actually one of my last contestants. And then I have this other contestant, Mr. Carter, who used to do fashion in New York and was on covers of magazines and fell to, his lifestyle. He fell down from his lifestyle, and this show even picked him back up to get back into the fashion, and he put together this killer show. I won't give away the whole show, and, it's a competition, but this guy, I'm telling you, moving. So the reality show, as it's a pet project, so to speak, and it's fun for me to do. It's also educational, and it's showing that anyone, anywhere can do this if you put your mind to it. It's again enforcing the millionaire mindset. Everything that I do, it seems to be going in different directions, but believe me, it all ends up back at the millionaire mindset.
Ain't no hashtag one Marcus J. So that sounds to me like it's a brand that we talk about here. Hint, hint, right? hint. Brandon, we talking about Brandon here. So everything goes back to the Miss Millionaire mindset. Now, I can dig that. I can dig that. Now, explain to our listeners why that's important.
Say that again?
Explain to the listeners why branding is important.
Oh, yeah, branding is super important. When I learned about branding, I was reading about McDonald's.
McDonald's?
McDonald's has, yes, McDonald's. And even with McDonald's, they were talking about how they did a brand, and they were talking about the golden arches, right? And how your brand really speaks for you. And anywhere you arches, you don't have to see McDonald's, you know that it was McDonald's. And it began to talk about the importance of a brand. Your brand is what you represent. And it needs to be consistent across the board for it to be impactful. So, branding is super important, whether you have your own business as a brand, which I will talk about that because, again, I'm a serial entrepreneur and I'm all about business creation. The brand is important because your brand is who you are. It's who you are, kind of wrapped up in a nice little package.
I could dig it. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. The last thing I want to get to, I want to talk about the online courses. You got a couple of them. Tell us about those.
Yeah, so I created an online course, of course, the Millionaire Mindset Academy. And the online courses we have 2 tracks, and one is strategic real estate investing. And what we do is we offer training, and it's a 12-month course on how you invest in real estate using the strategies that I use to invest in real estate. And we even show in these courses how you can acquire property with no money down, not using your credit. And how do you find these cash buyers? How do you find the people that are going to sell the houses? How do you negotiate? How do you fill out contracts? Everything from A to Z in real estate. But understand, real estate it's very vast. So it's a 12-month course, but believe me, there's still more that you can learn. But I give a lot of good information, and then not just give the information and then you don't hear from me. I follow up with you personally. We have our conference calls, and you're able to ask any questions about this particular course or class that you just took. So if you took a class on wholesaling, you're able to get me on the phone and say, Roberta, I know you said in wholesaling that it's important that you look at the bankruptcies and the probate and things like that, but how do I go about it? Whatever your questions are, I am answering those questions for you. And that is like no other training program, real estate program is offering that in the way that I'm offering it for the amount that I'm offering it for. I have a student of mine who took a class, one of Sam Merrill's classes, and I'm not hating. I'm saying he knows his stuff, but and I'm not hating on the price because the price he did $8,000. I'm not hating on that price, but because if you're going to spend, as you know, in college, $20,000-$30,000 a year in college, what's $8,000 if we're going to show you something how to make that money 10 times, 1,000 times over, make it.
Right.
But anyhow, one of my students took his class and paid the $8,000. And then she ended up coming to me, and she was saying she learned way more with me than with him because there's questions. You can't just listen to an audio and expect you to get it. You have to you have to have interaction. I'm a teacher, and that's what I want to do. I want to train and teach people to create wealth. The other track is finding your purpose. And as you heard me say before, I believe that what I'm doing right now is part of my purpose. And unfortunately, many of us live this life and never really know if we really executed that plan that God has designed for us. He didn't just put us on this earth to look cute and handsome and drive a nice car or just go to work and go to sleep and wake up and do it all over again. There's a purpose for you being here on this earth. And this is why I believe and I give my success, I give it over to God because I know I tapped into my purpose. That's why anything that I touched, once I recognized who I was and who I am, has been prosperous because I'm walking in my God-ordained purpose. It's a phenomenal place to be. It's a phenomenal place to be. I'm not guessing if I'm doing the right thing, if I'm at the right job, what am I doing with my life? Oh, I'm strategic, and I know exactly what I'm doing. And what I want to do is to teach people how to do that. It's not a big mystery. Your life is not a mystery. Everything that you need to figure out who you are in life, you already have it inside of you. And that's what I help to teach, pull out. For example, here's a question for all the listeners. I'm going to ask this question to you, and you answer it yourself. Because your purpose is not going to be like your sister's purpose or your friend's purpose or your cousin's purpose. Your purpose is your unique purpose. So here's the question. What is it that grieves you the most? That's probably an uncommon question, like what you're saying, where's she coming from with that? Here it is. What is it that grieves you the most? What grieves you the most is an indicator of a problem that God has designed you to fix. Because grieving is innate. You don't control that. So, for example, when I was young, I would cry when I see homeless people. Real estate and homelessness was something I was designed to fix. What is it that grieves you? That's an indicator of something that you're designed to fix. And here's another thing. I'm giving you my little nugget. Here's another thing. What is it that you do even if you're not getting paid for it? That's an indicator of your passion. What is it that you do, even if you don't get paid for it? It's an indicator of your passion. Just a little bit. I was doing real estate and helping people in housing without a license just because this is something that I love to do.
And you did it anyway.
People.
And you did it anyway.
But when you ever marry your passion with your purpose, you will find your prosperity. I'm trying to tell you, I got the recipe, and this is what I'm going to teach people, anyone that listens and want to act on it. I can't make you do anything you don't want to do. But I tell you, I will give you the recipe that works for me.
No, I can dig it. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. You know, the longtime listeners will tell you it's very rare that I just shut up and listen. I'm shutting up and listening right now because because you dropping jewels right now that I think we all could learn from, and I certainly appreciate it. I'm guessing when you do the bus tours, this is the kind of stuff that you're doing as well.
Yeah. So with the bus tour, again, I'm a trainer, and I believe that the best training that you can get is hands-on. So what I did with my students is I created a bus tour, and what we did is we went around and we looked at properties, and I actually helped them evaluate this property with me, so that I know that when my students go out to see if they have a good investment, that they're thinking like I'm thinking, and that they're making right choices. Because believe me, I'm not going to sell you a dream. You can make a lot of money in real estate, but you sure can lose a lot of money in real estate. So you have to be able to identify what is a good investment and what's a bad investment, which one is a money maker, which one's a money taker. And so it's not just a matter of paperwork and you know, putting the equation of what money, you know, which the debt to income ratio. It's a matter of really looking at these properties, calculating what type of repairs need to be made and which ones are repairs that we're not going to touch and which ones are ones that we would touch, so, those things. So going more in depth with the process of real estate investing. And yes, I did it. We had fun. We got on the bus and we learned. And that's what it's about. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. We are talking to New Haven Register's Business Person of the Year of 2015. She is a serial entrepreneur, the person who is leading Miss Millionaire Mindset, Miss Roberta Hoskie. Gonna close out with one last question. We talked about this in the beginning of the interview here. One more time, we're gonna talk about the event that we've got coming here in Richmond, Virginia on January 30th, 2016. One more time, tell us about it. Okay, so it's the Miss Millionaire Mindset seminar that is coming to Richmond on January 30th. We're going to talk about real estate investing, wealth creation, multiple streams of income, and also finding your purpose, finding your reason, finding your push. Why are you here? You know, January 30th from 2 to 4 p.m. It's a small window from 2 to 4 p.m. We're going to be at 1717 East Franklin Street, Richmond, Virginia. I look forward to seeing you there. Let's make 2016 a prosperous year. Yeah, excited. You got it, and so am I. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, Legacy Internet Radio. Thanking our sister Roberta Hoskie, Miss Millionaire Mindset, our serial entrepreneur, and our 2015 New Haven Register's Business Person of the Year. Roberta, hold the line. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we got some more. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. Live from the Den, the flagship show of Legacy Internet Radio. Stay with us. Be back in a few minutes.